pledge, please.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Let us pray. Dear Heavenly Father, we just thank you for this day. We ask you to be with us tonight. Give us the wisdom and the courage to make the right decisions. Thank you for all that you do for us. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen.
Judge?
Ready for me?
Yep.
So first, let me say thank you for asking me to come here this evening to swear you all in, and congratulations on your new or renewed positions. And if I could ask all of you to please stand. If you all could each raise your right hand and repeat after me, please. I state your name.
Jeff Elliott.
Do solemnly swear
Do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
That I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of Ohio,
and the Constitution of the State of Ohio,
and will obey the laws thereof,
and will obey the laws thereof,
and that I will, in all respects,
and I will, in all respects,
uphold and enforce the ordinances of the City of Jackson, Ohio,
uphold and enforce the ordinances of the City of Jackson, Ohio,
and will faithfully discharge the duties of,
and will faithfully discharge the duties of
state your office.
City Council at large.
This I do as I shall answer unto God.
This I do as I shall answer unto God.
All right, congratulations.
Thank you.
Thank you, Judge Skaggs. So it is my honor to open and call to order this evening the January 8th meeting of the Jackson City Council. Roll call.
Foster. Elliott.
Here.
Colby.
Here.
Peters.
Here.
Newkirk.
Here.
Crabtree. Pop.
Recognition, Mayor Evans.
Yes. First, I too want to congratulate and thank the members of council here. I know these aren't easy positions. A lot of towns, even near us, have trouble filling these council positions. Very happy that you all are back. A lot of good things happening in Jackson, and you all are part of it. So congratulations, and thanks for serving the citizens of Jackson. Also tonight, I have asked Pam Bowling to come in. Pam, if you stand there, please. This is to announce and recognize Pam's retirement after over 30 years with the city.
Yes.
Over 30 years working for the city of Jackson. She started as a part-time clerk clear back in 1993.
Right. At the
then-
mayor's office when Robin went off to have her baby, and it was a part-time job. I wasn't even guaranteed a job.
Yep, and she stuck around and went full-time the next year.
I did meters, I did, oh my, I needed at the mayor's office. I read meters, I did all kinds of things until a full-time job at the sewer plant was created.
Then she took a full-time job as administrative secretary at the wastewater plant. And she's been there ever since,
Yeah.
and done many other.
I mean, there's not very many departments I haven't worked in. I'm one of these people they call, go fix it.
She served at the wastewater plant, she served at the water
Wastewater,
plant.
water.
She served at the city garage, I know, for a while. She served at the administrative office a while. She's been our
Distribution.
labor compliance coordinator.
Right.
She's done wore a lot of different hats over the last 30 years.
Oops, coordinator. I don't know, I mean, well, distribution too, up there, and our flush hydrants. And over the years, remember when we had a 97 flood, you know how bad that was. I was with FEMA for months. Ron put me with FEMA. That way I tracked every house and took what FEMA said, such as this house is total, this house may be repaired and passed, you know. I took notes for Ron, and I was with him for 3 or 4 months with the FEMA people, just going through the properties, and oh, you should have seen the senior citizen. I was horrible. All them cells got ruined. wastewater was back online 2 days. One day, because Stockmeister stayed overnight, 24 hours a day, and driving motors out. We had 4 floors of water. We had deer hanging on the fence down. Went in with boats to close off power.
Well, we want to thank you for your service to the city and congratulate you on your retirement.
Yes.
And I enjoyed my time here at the city. And I had always planned on working there as 35 years. But my health didn't let me do it. I got that alpha-gal and I went from, well, if anybody's ever seen me before, 200 and some pounds to where I'm at today. That about killed me. I went and had acupuncture done in my ear, and I only had one bad spell after that since I've retired, and that's it. I haven't been sick. So that's the kicker, people with alpha-gal, acupuncture in the ear.
Thank you for coming in, Pam.
Okay, everybody. It's a good place to work.
Come up here, we got the paper with the picture here. Come up here. Here with me.
You have to come there.
Turn around, Sam, we'll congratulate you here
Okay.
on your retirement.
Okay.
Good luck, have fun.
Actually, if I don't want to do anything, I don't do anything. I went to work when I was 16 years old. So, that's a long time.
Yeah.
I had a son when I was 16, so I worked 4 hours a day through season, went to high school. I graduated.
And be careful now, you're going to give your age.
I remember my $99 trailer payment and my $69 car payment.
We'll see you, Pam. Thank you again.
Really, I hate leaving, but my health just not letting me. No, I just feel like, dig me a hole, let me lay in it before I got this out this done. I don't care if it's 3 feet, I'll cover myself up, you just leave. Nobody will know it. I don't know how many times I said that to people. I don't know, it's a pain away.
Okay, Dan, back to you.
I don't think we have any visitors who want to speak. So we'll go to the approval of the minutes from the December 26th meeting, and they were in your packet. Any objections or corrections with the minutes as presented to council? Hearing none, the chair would entertain a motion to accept the minutes as presented. Mr. Bob, second Mr. Elliott. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion is carried. Next on our committee reports agenda is, on our agenda is committee reports. We'll start with utility. Mr. Newkirk. No report. Thank you, Mr. Newkirk. Budget, finance, Ms. Colby.
No report.
Thank you, Ms. Colby. Police, fire, and traffic, Mr. Foster. Thank you, Mr. Foster. And service, Mr. Peters. Thank you, Mr. Peters. The auditor's report, Mr. Reed.
There's about 3 ordinances tonight that are part of setting up the budget. First, dealing with last year, the council had created a fund for tracking utility deposits. This puts some money in it for the deposits for this year and balances that out. So we waited to the beginning of the year to actually move the money, so we would have an exact amount. And then the other ones deal with funding of the departments that are funded by other departments, which would be the utility and that. So these are simple ordinances, but things that we need to get done for the budget for this year.
Thank you, Mr. Reed. Mr. Kirby?
I don't have anything to report.
Thank you, Mr. Kirby. Chief Inch, have anything? Thank you, Chief. Mayor Evans?
You've probably heard on the news about the AMLR grant that the city received, and it's a $2 million abandoned line, let me get this out here, abandoned mine land. And this is for use over by our Harding Avenue Park. There's some old abandoned mines actually on that property. And this will help us reclaim those. We hope to do some other enhancements to deal with flood mitigation in that area where the park floods so much. maybe some park improvements. It's just a preliminary approval right now. In fact, they have a team coming in town tomorrow to dig into it a little deeper. It's a very vague, kind of a vague application. We got to work out the details, but we're very happy to get it and see what we can do with it. Was it a year ago or 2 years ago, David? There was a related, you might have recall when Mr. Berridge was in here, and there was an Ambler fund request put in then for a much bigger project. And we think that was probably part of the problem. It was just too big of an ask. So we downscaled it and asked for something to try to get started in that area. And that's what we hope this does. Looks like we were, hopefully, fingers crossed, we are going to actually get that. And that's all I have to report on tonight.
Thank you, Mayor. Any questions for the mayor? Thank you. Mr. Schweikhammer.
Yeah, I'm just going to bring you up to speed with some of the projects going on. Morton Street, I'm sure if you've been out that way, you see that sidewalks are now starting to be replaced out there. Did the curbs and the paving. We just didn't have time to get the sidewalks done back when we was hoping to. But we're on that project now, and it'll continue until it's completed. Also, we're working with Columbia Gas there in what is called the Trago side of the project, which is really all the streets over around Vaughn to Bennett, south to Huron. So there'll still be a lot of activity over there for the next 3 months in that area. Curbs, we're back on the Pearl Street down by Giovanni's, working our way back toward Church Street. We do have an ODOT paving project coming up later in the year. It's our intention to have all those curbs, both sides, replaced. We're also going to be doing some more catch basins that's in that same project area. You'll notice today we were working over in the Church Street area between Main and Water Street, and you're going to see that throughout the city as we start to do some of the repairs we need. We're thinking paving already. It's never too early to start that. So, I guess ask people to use some caution and watch out for our city employees, as we do have many crews out and about working. Weather has been fairly decent, may not be looking too good the next few days, but there's still work to be done, and we continue to move forward with it.
While you're speaking, next Monday is holiday?
Correct.
So trash pickup
Tuesday.
Will be Tuesday, and the city building will be closed
Correct.
Monday? Okay. Any questions for Service Director? Thank you, Mr. Schweikhammer. Next on the agenda is our ordinances and resolutions portion. We will begin with ordinance on third reading. That will be ordinance 7223. Ms. Kuhn?
An ordinance rezoning Broadway Street from Walnut Street to South Street from residential R2 to business B2.
Discussion. Ms. Kuhn?
Foster.
Yes.
Elliott.
Yes.
Colby.
Yes.
Peters.
Yes.
Newkirk.
Yeah.
Crabtree.
Yes.
Bach.
Yes.
Ordinance 8423, I'm sorry, ordinance 7223 is duly adopted. Next, second reading, ordinance 8423. Ms. Kuhn?
An ordinance repealing and amending the City of Jackson's codified ordinance sections 137.01 and 137.02 regarding the Recreation Department and personnel.
Discussion.
If I may.
Yes, sir.
I'm going to ask council to consider passing that tonight. We are only, believe it or not, 2 months away from when we start hiring for lifeguards and training them, and I'd like to get this position posted and filled. Also, I know Big Red Diamond Club is already starting their sign up, so rather than bringing somebody in halfway through a season, I'd like to move forward if we may.
Thank you. Mr. Schweikhammer? Further discussion?
President, motion to suspend the rules.
Motion by Mr. Elliott. Is there a second? Second by Mr. Newkirk. Discussion? Ms. Kuhn?
Foster.
No.
Elliott.
Yes.
Colby.
Yes.
Peters.
Yes.
Newkirk.
Yes.
Crabtree.
Yes.
Bach.
Yes.
Discussion? Ms. Coon?
Mr. President, I was absent the last meeting and I don't have a copy of that. I have everything except 8423.
Give me a moment to look at it.
Yeah.
Would you,
Just a quick question, I guess. What's the purpose? I know we discussed this off.
For the last 4 years, we've just hired a pool manager. And we know that person is not, it's been the same person every year. That person has been here, as you know, for many, many years. So we hope to just expand on that position, maybe make it more than just a pool, to help with our recreation programs, or other recreation programs such as the city softball and baseball, just to help Big Red Diamond Club maybe do better with that, do better with our parks, maybe help coordinate other events throughout the park and at the pool. So we're getting, as we've made improvements, we're getting a lot more use. And if you get a lot more use, you need a little bit of management involved.
I
And
agree.
that's our goal.
Just a quick question.
Yep.
I agree with everything that you said. When you say help the Big Red Diamond Club, they're a nonprofit, so they're collecting all the fees for the rec program that they run there. I don't know how long the contract is with them. I don't remember. I know we upped it recently. Does anyone know?
They still have 2 years left. It was a 3-year.
Okay, so eventually, are we going to go back to the way we used to do it here in the city, where the recreation department actually does run all of those recreation programs? Or are we still gonna try to allow the nonprofit to run those? Because it would seem like if we're gonna hire someone, we might as well take that back over. Just my opinion.
Well, I mean, it's not something that we actually planned to do right away, but we want to be prepared. I think the Big Red Diamond Club, the last few years, has done a pretty good job of running the City Rec League. But you never know, you never know who's going to be in charge, or if somebody's going to be in charge. So we want to be ready to be able to continue it if something would happen there. Let me say it that way. I don't know, as long as they keep doing a good job of running it, I'm okay with them doing that, but I want to be prepared that if something happens that we're ready to go.
And then also, just one other question, I'm assuming this is like a non-classified, like not a union position that works?
That's correct. Yeah, it's considered a part-time position.
Okay, that's all I had, thanks, sorry.
Anyone else have any questions about?
Ms. Coon?
Foster.
No.
Elliott.
Yes.
Colby.
Yes.
Peters.
Yes.
Newkirk.
Yes.
Crabtree.
Yes.
Bob.
Yes.
Ordinance 8423 is duly adopted. Next, ordinance first reading. We'll begin with ordinance 124. Ms. Coon?
An ordinance transferring funds from the various water, sewer, electric, and garbage funds, transfer out to the utility deposit fund, transfer in, and declaring an emergency.
Could I get a motion to accept ordinance 124 as presented to council this evening? Ms. Colby, is there a second? Mr. Crabtree? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carried. Discussion. Mr. Reed?
What you have here, these are the line items in the different utilities that take and hold the deposits, and that's the way it has been done in years past. Last year, we created the line item to put them together, because we don't separate them out as a deposit. If somebody owes the city money, it's pulled from their deposit, period. So it's a much cleaner way to do it, and when we refund the deposits this way, we're paying them for one line item instead of issuing them 4 checks, which is our current. So that's what this is. The council, we put that line item in last year, or that fund in last year to pay out of, so this is moving the money into that fund.
Thank you, Mr. Reed. Other discussion?
We do need it.
So you need it.
The
You need it.
utility office.
Your
needs
office
it.
needs it.
Utility office needs it.
That's what I needed answered.
Yes, yes.
You.
I move to suspend the rules.
Motion by Ms. Colby to suspend, second by Mr. Elliott. Discussion? Ms. Kuhn?
Foster.
Yes.
Elliott.
Yes.
Colby.
Yes.
Peters.
Yes.
Newkirk.
Yes.
Crabtree. Bach.
Yes.
Discussion? Ms. Kuhn?
Foster.
Yes.
Elliott.
Yes.
Colby.
Yes.
Peters.
Yes.
Newkirk.
Yes.
Crabtree.
Yes.
Bach.
Yes.
Ordinance 124 is duly adopted. Next, for council consideration, first reading is ordinance 224. Ms. Kuhn?
An ordinance approving additional appropriations in the utility deposit fund for refunds of customer deposits and declaring an emergency.
I have a motion to adopt ordinance 224 as presented to council.
Move
Mr.
to
Elliott,
adopt.
is there a second? Ms. Colby? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion is carried. Discussion, Mr. Reed.
This is what allows Karen to take that money and say, we need to issue a refund to Mr. Johnson because he had this left on his balance. So if council would pass this, I'd appreciate it.
Thank you, Mr. Reed. Discussion?
Motion to suspend the
Motion
rules.
to suspend by Mr. Elliott, second by Mr. Newkirk. Discussion? Ms. Kuhn?
Foster.
Yes.
Elliott.
Yes.
Colby.
Yes.
Peters.
Yes.
Newkirk.
Yes.
Crabtree.
Yes.
Bach.
Further discussion? Ms. Kuhn?
Foster.
Yes.
Elliott.
Yes.
Colby.
Yes.
Peters.
Yes.
Newkirk. Crabtree. Bach.
Ordinance 224 is duly adopted. Next, for council consideration, ordinance 324, first reading. Ms. Kuhn?
An ordinance transferring funds from the transfer out funds of water, sewer, garbage, Lillian Jones Museum Trust, and general government funds to the transfer in funds of water utility office, water distribution, sewer utility office, sewer collection, garbage improvement, garbage utility office, SCMR, Lillian Jones Museum, OPR fund, municipal swimming pool, and cemetery funds, and declaring an emergency.
Can I get a motion to adopt ordinance 324 as presented to council? Mr. Peters, is there a second? Ms. Colby, second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion is carried. Discussion. Again, Mr. Reed.
These are in the budget that we passed at the beginning of the year. These are the operating funds for the type of water. This is, goes their proportion that goes to utility office for collections. It's the interest for the Jones Museum. It's building your budget is our additional appropriations. These are amounts that were in the original budget to be put in these funds.
Thank you, Mr. Reed. Other discussion? Mr. Elliott?
Move to suspend the rules.
Thank you. Is there a second? Newkirk, discussion? Ms. Kuhn?
Foster.
Yes.
Elliott.
Yes.
Colby.
Yes.
Peters.
Yes.
Newkirk.
Yes.
Crabtree.
Yes.
Bach.
Discussion. Ms. Kuhn?
Foster.
Yes.
Elliott.
Yes.
Colby.
Yes.
Peters. Newkirk. Crabtree.
Yes.
Bach.
Ordinance 324 is duly adopted. Next, for council consideration, first reading, ordinance 424. Ms. Kuhn?
An ordinance rezoning from business B3 to industrial I, the 5.491 and 45.045 acre parcels owned by Jackson Grandview Builders Incorporated and located on Veterans Drive and adjacent to General Tibbetts Drive in the city of Jackson, Ohio, and declaring an emergency.
Could I have a motion to adopt ordinance 424 as presented to council? Ms. Colby, is there a second? Second, Mr. Peters. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion is carried. Discussion, Mayor Evans.
This is to rezone the property, like for Grandview Builders on Veterans Drive. It's been a long process. We had the planning committee, planning commission meeting, and no one was there to express any opposition. And then we had the council hearing last month, and no one was there to express any opposition. I know they're wanting to move forward with this project. So if you want to pass that on first reading, I don't see any reason not to.
Thank you, Mayor. Further discussion? Any further action to be taken on ordinance 424? Mr. Elliott?
Motion to suspend the rules.
Motion by Mr. Elliott to suspend. Is there a second? Second by Mr. Newkirk. Discussion? Ms. Kuhn?
Foster. Elliott.
Yes.
Colby.
Yes.
Peters.
Yes.
Newkirk. Crabtree.
Yes.
Bach.
Further discussion? Ms. Kuhn?
Foster. Elliott.
Yes.
Colby.
Yes.
Peters.
Yes.
Newkirk.
Yes.
Crabtree. Bach.
Ordinance 424 is duly adopted. Next, we will move on to the resolutions portion. First reading, Resolution 124. Ms. Kuhn?
A resolution authorizing the City of Jackson to apply for, accept, and enter into an agreement with the Ohio Department of Transportation for funding for transportation alternatives for sidewalk projects and declaring an emergency.
Could I have a motion to adopt Resolution 1-4?
Motion to adopt?
Mr. Elliott, is there a second? Mr. Crabtree, second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carried. Discussion. Mayor Evans.
Just permission to apply for a grant for the transportation alternatives through ODOT. It's for a sidewalk project.
And I see it's January 31st, am I correct? To meet the
Yes.
deadline?
Yes.
Further action to be taken on Resolution 124?
Mr. President, I'll move to suspend the rules to meet the deadline.
Peters? Second by Mr. Newkirk. Discussion? Ms. Kuhn?
Foster.
Yes.
Elliott.
Yes.
Colby.
Yes.
Peters.
Yes.
Newkirk.
Yes.
Crabtree.
Yes.
Bach.
Further discussion? Ms. Kuhn?
Foster.
Yes.
Elliott.
Yes.
Colby.
Yes.
Peters.
Yes.
Newkirk. Crabtree.
Yes.
Resolution 124 is duly adopted. Next, for council consideration, Resolution 224, first reading. Ms. Kuhn?
A resolution authorizing the City of Jackson to apply for, accept, and enter into an agreement with the Ohio Department of Natural Resources for funding for dam rehabilitation project and declaring an emergency. I thought I had this far.
Could I have a motion to adopt Resolution 224 as presented to council? Ms. Colby, is there a second? Mr. Newkirk? All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed, same sign. The motion is carried. Discussion, Mayor Evans.
The dams at Cisco and Hammertown both could use some work, and this is just applying for some money to help us do that in the future.
And this as a 26th of January.
Quick question. The match says 35%. That's it's probably gonna be a hefty price tag on if we're replacing a dam. Where's our match money gonna come from?
I can't say that for sure yet. It will be a hefty, it's not actually dam, it's the spillways from the dams. Both of them have been determined to need work prior to us being here. So it's something that we probably won't do until we do get grant money, and then we'll find the match, like we do when we get all these grants. It'll most likely be income tax money, frankly. And that applies there for infrastructure improvements.
Thank you, Mr. Peters.
Thank you.
Other discussion?
Mr. President, I'll move to suspend the rules to apply.
Motion by Mr. Peters.
I'll
Suspend rules, second by Mr. Elliott. Discussion? Ms. Kuhn?
Foster. Elliott.
Yes.
Colby.
Yes.
Peters.
Yes.
Newkirk.
Yes.
Crabtree. Bach.
Further discussion? Ms. Kuhn?
Foster. Elliott.
Yes.
Colby.
Yes.
Peters.
Yes.
Newkirk.
Yes.
Crabtree. Bach.
Resolution 224 is duly adopted. Next, for council consideration, Resolution 324, first reading. Ms. Kuhn?
A resolution authorizing the City of Jackson to apply for, accept, and enter into an agreement with the Ohio Department of Development for a water and wastewater infrastructure grant and declaring an emergency.
Could I have a motion to adopt Resolution 324 as presented to council? Mr. Bob, second by Ms. Colby. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion is carried. Discussion, Mayor Evans.
This is applied for a grant through the Department of Development, Water and Wastewater. If we're successful in this grant, it will be for water line work down in the Florence Avenue area, the Jackson Heights. We identified a need down there actually a couple years ago. We've been unsuccessful in getting funding for, so we continue to try.
Thank you, Mayor. Other discussion? This has a deadline.
Yeah, I'll move to suspend to meet the 17th deadline.
Thank you, Mr. Peters. Is there a second? Second by Mr. Crabtree. Further discussion? Ms. Kuhn?
Foster. Elliott.
Yes.
Colby.
Yes.
Peters.
Yes.
Newkirk. Crabtree. Bob.
Further discussion? Ms. Kuhn?
Foster. Elliott.
Yes.
Colby.
Yes.
Peters.
Yes.
Newkirk. Crabtree.
Resolution 324 is duly adopted. Next, council consideration, resolution 424, first reading. Ms. Kuhn?
A resolution authorizing the City of Jackson to apply for, accept, and enter into an agreement for the Ohio EPA H2 Ohio Rivers Initiative Chloride Reduction Program for a grant for equipment and declaring an emergency.
Could I get a motion to adopt Resolution 424 as presented to council?
Move to adopt.
Mr. Elliott, second by Ms. Colby. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. The motion is carried. Discussion, Mayor Evans.
This grant, if successful, would allow us, if we receive it, it'll allow us to help us purchase a new and improved street sweeper to help clean up the streets, including the salt residues from treating the streets, which is where the grant comes from.
Thank you, Mayor. This has a January 31st date.
I'll move to suspend to meet the deadline.
Mr. Peters, is there a second? Ms. Colby, second. Further discussion? Ms. Kuhn?
Foster.
Yes.
Elliott.
Yes.
Colby.
Yes.
Peters.
Yes.
Newkirk. Crabtree. Bob.
Further discussion? Ms. Kuhn?
Foster.
Yes.
Elliott.
Yes.
Colby.
Yes.
Peters.
Yes.
Newkirk. Crabtree. Bob.
Resolution 424 is duly adopted. Our last resolution for the evening is Resolution 524, first reading. Ms. Kuhn?
A resolution authorizing the mayor of the city of Jackson to enter into an agreement with the Ohio Department of Natural Resources for the Nature Works Local Assistance Grant and declaring an emergency.
Could I have a motion to adopt Resolution 524 as presented to council? Mr. Elliott, is there a second? Mr. Newkirk? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. The motion is carried. Discussion, Mayor Evans.
Okay, I'm not clear exactly what our intended use of this one is, but this is a grant that we've had success getting in the past, and it will be something used in our parks.
Mayor, further discussion? I don't see a date with this one, but
Mr. President, I'll move to suspend the rules. It's a grant. Apply for it.
agree. Is there a second? Mr. Newkirk? Discussion? Ms. Kuhn?
Foster.
Yes.
Elliott.
Yes.
Colby.
Yes.
Peters.
Yes.
Newkirk.
Yes.
Crabtree.
Further discussion? Ms. Kuhn?
Foster. Elliott.
Yes.
Colby.
Yes.
Peters.
Yes.
Newkirk. Crabtree. Bob.
Resolution 524 is duly adopted. This concludes our resolutions and ordinance section in our agenda. Just to thank members of council for their diligence with it. I believe we had one correspondence. Ms. Kuhn, if you want to expound, or Mayor Evans,
Mayor Evans has
you want to expound on it?
Yeah, it's the notice that council receives periodically from the Division of Liquor Control announcing a liquor transfer and allowing you to decide whether you want to have a local hearing or not regarding the transfer. And this is a transfer of Pizza Hut's liquor license, and it's just from one owner to a new owner. And it's a D1 and D2 permit for beer and wine on premise. We really just need to know if council wants to go to a hearing or not.
Yeah, so we just need a motion to waive the hearing or have it?
Mr. President, I'll move to waive the hearing.
Is there a second?
A second.
Second, Mr. Elliott. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion is carried. Old business, is there any old business to be brought before council? Hearing none, move into new business. Is there anything to be brought before council?
Mr. President, we're getting on the door ordinance, so I'm gonna get with the admin and get while we're there. And I will reach out to the local businesses, so that they know as well. Then we'll figure out when we can have our first meeting for that.
Thank you, Mr. Peters. Any other new business to be brought before council?
Mr. President, just one
Mr.
quick
Crabtree?
question. I did have a couple questions from the community about the rail tankers that are in town. Just wondering what's in them, how long they stay in, that sort of thing.
If I can go ahead and take it. Yeah, back when there was the incident over in East Palestine, that came up quite a bit. We made inquiries, and working with the Ohio Rail Commission, we found out that those federal laws around that's their jurisdictions at the federal level, and that the municipalities, townships cannot legislate tankers out. If so, then they would have no place ever to set their tankers. And so, but they're supposed to be the ones that govern the content. And so right now, it's one of those things where the federal government has set precedents, and we did raise it up. It's been, what now, has that been 2 years ago that event happened? Right. Yeah.
Other comments?
Thank you.
So to ask another question, is there anything in them?
There is residue. There's nothing full usually sitting there. If it is, it's for a short period of time, waiting to catch a train someplace else. So they'll use it as a side yard occasionally.
Thank you.
Other comments? New business? Hearing none, the chair would entertain a motion to adjourn. Mr. Peters, is there a second? Mr. Elliott, all those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed, same sign. Motion carried. This meeting stands adjourned.